I am applying for my release from the asylum in order to live once again among civilized people and at home with my wife. I am a seer of spirits. I communicate with souls. While at Flexix Asylum, I became acquainted with the rays.
Doctor, what is in that journal of his?
It is the property of my institution.
Flexing! I intend to make his stay brief and his cure complete.
If God has spoken, must you listen?
Should the maid of Orleans be silent? Jesus Christ, should he have been silent?
Have you no desire to come home?
This is my home.
My biggest concern for my family now is to feed them and keep a roof over their head. There are some days where we actually don't have an abundance of food, and you know, I've pawned a few things to get by, which I never thought I would do growing up the way I did. I never understood how people would get to that point. When the electricity's turned off or the phone's turned off, I just feel so awful. It's embarrassing. It shouldn't be. I don't really care what other people think so much as I care what my kids think, you know, and I don't want them to think that I'm, you know, a bad mom, or I'm not trying, or that I'm spending it elsewhere, which I'm not. It's just not here.
There was something about him. There was something very intriguing about him, and something very likable in a strange kind of way.
He would make the scene. He infiltrated, you know, the movie world. He was hanging out with Mickey Rourke.
In LA, he is the son of a big producer like De Laurentiis. In the Hamptons, he's Rockefeller. He knows very well what people want.
His typical game or his scheme that he plays is definitely a different level than anything else I've ever dealt with.
He's a cold, ruthless, hardened criminal. All he wants is the money.
The FBI is looking for him. The district attorney's office in LA is looking for him. The NYPD, the East Hampton PD, everybody is looking for him.
He's building a legend about himself as a new Pink Panther, because that's the way he sees himself, as a Pink Panther.
Monique Wesley's baby has a life-threatening tumor. Dr. John Stanley will perform the C-section to deliver her baby.
She's scared. She doesn't know what to expect. She doesn't know what this tumor's going to look like.
I'm anxious to see the baby. Hopefully she'll be okay.
OU Medical Center, Oklahoma City.
OU Medical Center takes care of a huge patient population.
Our patients come from all over Oklahoma, so we see the sickest, the most high risk, the most critical patients.
You never know what exactly is going to come in through the door. I'm going to take these to the back.
From extreme prematurity to rare abnormalities, the maternity ward staff at OU Medical Center must be prepared for the unexpected.
Next on on Mugshots, George Rivas, the leader of the Texas Seven.
People like the guy. They lower their guard around him. And when he's ready, he strikes.
He staged a daring prison break and led a gang of 7 fugitives on a journey that triggered a national manhunt.
He was the mastermind. He helped plan it. He helped execute it. A sort of Pied Piper of criminals.
Rivas is the smartest criminal I've dealt with. He's dangerous because he is so smart.
Rivas's behavior pattern shows that he does not mind taking violent action.
George Rivas is the type of guy that's just having a great time right now, knowing I outsmarted you.
I vowed to myself, I'm not going to die an old man in prison.
I like to spend my free time either playing my clarinet, usually thinking of poetry because I don't like the writing part of it. I am in 6th grade. I live in South Lake Tahoe, California. My biggest fear would have to be falling off a cliff. It is my dream to be in the Olympics. Mountain biking or skiing is what it looks like I should be in right now. My national ranking in mogul skiing is 5th. The medal that I'm most fond of is my national championship medal. It was a junior expert race, 15 to 18. It was 22 miles, and I placed a 4th there, and I'm only 11. It wasn't a win, though. It was a 4th place, but I had tried my hardest, I had done my best, and it was the best race of my life.
I think I just heard a skull crunch. That was definitely a human bone.
They had burns, dismemberment, castrated.
When I heard about those crimes, it was the most ghastly thing I'd ever heard of, and I couldn't wait to get to know this guy.
These boys died in agony. This guy up here gets an art joke.
The themes in his work are going to be women's eyes gouged out, headsmen decapitating people, horned demons, and anything having to do with Satanism. Openly remorseless, gets a big kick out of the jailhouse celebrity thing, and readily sends out drawings.
That's not right.
Everybody probably in this country knows who a Jeffrey Dahmer is, John Gacy, a Ted Bundy, but I dare anybody, and no one can, name any of their victims.
The idea of putting on a serial killer art show just sort of occurred to me.
Most of the serial killers that I reached out to were notorious. I knew that the name value would sell.
Gacy said, contact Rick Staten, he's got the main bulk of my work.
When the news about Andrea Yates broke, it shocked the nation. How could a mother have killed her 5 little children?
Andrea Yates is the sickest woman I have ever seen.
We never had a doubt that she knew right from wrong. Never.
I was told by people who saw her in those days that Andrea was a fabulous mother. We hero worshipped Andrea.
What were the forces that led her to commit these horrible acts?
We all go to hell, yeah!
She didn't have any ability to judge the rightness or wrongness of what this preacher was saying to her.
You are accountable for those children. No other people does God single out than children.
And in her world, there was no other way out for her children other than to send them to God.
Sometimes you just have to look at it and call it what it is. It's an evil act.
Andrea Yates, next on Mugshots.